Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together, and if you have any questions or need any help, check out finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into these sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everybody in the community. Special coupon code that we have that works both on the monthly and yearly memberships. And if you're interested in signing up, you can see in the description link below the pricing of all that. All right, let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on today. Starting with the DXY, and what do we have? Stronger dollar, like we didn't know that was coming at some point. Here it is, working its way on up. It's up 0.61%. Just starting to turtle head, just starting to peak out a little bit above that last of resistance, and we'll see if this starts to accelerate to the upside. Now, one of the drivers of a relatively strong dollar against the euro and Japan and all those other currencies could be the interest rates that back behind the dollar. That interest rates could be more powerful of a move than the interest rates of other currencies. So right now, DXY is up, and so is interest rates. Now, interest rates are one to watch here. We've been consolidating here in this flag pattern. These generally tend to break higher when you have a lead-in the way that this looks. So we'll see if we get some, we'll say some traction here to move to the upside, which I think looks very possible. The setup looks pretty good to move on up, and we would need a lot of Becent treasury buying over here to keep this thing down. So that's the setup at the moment. We'll see if it breaks. 10-year yields up 0.34%. That's got a little bit of ways to move up before it hits the last of the trend line resistance is what I'll call it. But that still looks good to go higher. We've broken this downtrend, and we've got a little consolidation going on. And the 30-year yields up 0.27. That's also at another neckline, we'll call it. Could potentially be a inverted shoulder, head shoulder. Come on, 30-year, come back up. I accidentally clicked off of it. And that looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this line, and I'm just going to put a rectangle. I like my rectangles. So that's kind of your resistance zone that we've got coming up through here. And it looks like it's going to try to go. And where I make that decision, there's a couple things that I make when I look at this to make a decision of why I think it's going to go higher. Usually you get kind of a big move lower, you get kind of like a flag pattern, and then you get another low. That's complete, number one. Number two, you break the downtrend line. This downtrend line's broken and it's moving higher. Other things I look for are small selling pressure red candlesticks and big green candlesticks. That is present. And we're up against resistance in a flag pattern here. So that to me looks very good to try to work its way on up. As we break out of this small pattern, it might engage larger patterns. The larger patterns is big boy pattern. We could break this. Now, you have to piece this whole thing together. The dollar is put a bottoming pattern and it's breaking higher. The dollar moves higher when yields move higher. That's evidence piece number one. Evidence piece number two, when this starts to move up, generally you'll see a natural gas or oil price break out to the upside like we've got, and crude oil is squeezed into this corner here, which could also break out along with yields. So it's by no happenstance that my opinion is that we are probably, and it's not in the bag yet, but we are probably going to head higher with dollar, which is breaking out, yields, which have yet to break out, and oil, which has yet to break out. And dollar is kind of that DXY is kind of that leading thing. Now, the DXY is relative. I'm tired of people asking me, if the dollar's going up, the dollar is not going up. It's only going up relative to other currencies. So if you got to understand that, you got to understand that. So TLT bond prices still look weak. I think these are going to head lower. If yields are going to go up, bond prices have to go lower. They move in opposite directions. And then if you back out this setup here, this setup through here, that setup there, that thing, that's just yields flipped over. That's all it is. The 2 and the 10, we are still in this falling wedge. I think this is going to break upwards. Now, this yield spread is also more evidence that we could see yields go up, because then you get the yield curve to reinvert again. And this would go up. And that is a falling wedge ready to break higher. See the interconnectedness in all these different charts? TYX, TNX ratio. Now, if we do that, we could see this fall. We could reinvert. That would be very similar to the era of this here, or maybe this here. So we came up in 298, reinverted. Came up in the mid 2002, 2003, and then inverted the curve again. So that's possible. Now, I don't know that relationship. We'll see if this breaks higher, and it very well could break higher. It does look good to break higher. And that's kind of what I'm looking at, are these relationships. Now, do I know for a fact that what this relationship is going to do? I do not. So I'm kind of guessing. Gold's up $7 an ounce. We have moved on up, a little bit of selling pressure throughout the day. You can see that wick at the top. It's going to try to move higher, and if it fails to, we'll see what happens. We've got silver up 0.72 with that wick at the top too, a little bit of selling pressure. So this is it trying to move higher, but we're getting some selling pressure. Platinum is down a little bit, and I think this could end up a little bit lower down here. Now, am I doing anything with it? Like, for instance, I may hold that opinion, and I could be 100% wrong on it. Why? You take a longer view, on it. For the most part, my opinion is just that this is consolidating. Now, does it break down and do this and do a retest? Now, a lot of things do retests that we see on these. I don't know. We could break out and rip. That is where the difficulty of reading short-term charts comes into play, and why I don't trade the short term. To me, this could go either direction. We could do a retest, and this could easily break out. And that indecisiveness in the chart that I don't know leaves me to just be invested in it from my entry points that are all down here, and down here, and down here. This is my margin of safety, is from where I purchased to where the price is today. If I try trading this and I'm wrong, and this breaks higher, and I'm trying to get it down here, well, then what do I do? It is psychologically very difficult to buy this at 1800 or 1750 if I'm wrong, or even 1650, than it was buying it at 950 bucks with premium. So I play this the long game. This can go either direction here. It's still kind of consolidating here. I've got this here. I'm just going to take that out. There's not a ton of selling pressure on this side over here. There's some here, but it's diminished. But that doesn't mean we can't punch lower before heading higher. So it's a difficult read here. We've got palladium. It's down 2%, still above this little falling wedge deal. And this still could come all the way back to 1240. And what this would be is you come down, you get one of these guys that does that, and it's a little Batman pattern that ends up at support. Short term, difficult read. Longer term, it's going to go higher. We've got XAU to gold ratio up today, 1.28%. That's positive. which is good because usually you might see people positioning the equities before the physical metal prices move. Sometimes that happens. GDX is up 1%, still looks fine. GDXJ is up, still looks okay. And then SILJ is up 1.83. Now these don't have like a nice prescribed pattern or anything. They look like randomness almost. So when I look at the longer term, it just looks like a consolidation. So what I do is I try to get as low as I can, here, here. I sit in it. And then this volatility, I just ride through it. Buying off the volatility is a little bit harder. And there are individual companies that are well set up. But this SILJ, it's a little hard to read here. There's not a lot of selling pressure. The buying pressure is there. We did enter this kind of downward. So are we going to get like another downward move and is this going to turn into like a flag pattern? It could. It's a difficult read in the short term. Crude oil's down 2%. I still think this looks good. I want to see this break to the upside here. The equities are already running. On the bigger picture, longer view, they've already broken out of structures and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting for this to break higher. It looks good. TTF gas, we're down 2.66. We're still in this channel pattern going on. Natural gas in America is up 4.44. That's breaking higher. There's a lot of demand coming, and in all honesty, guys, I don't know how we're going to meet all of this demand out. I'd say maybe 2030. We may have a problem. And we get cold winter thrown on top of that. Oh my goodness, this is going to be one heck of an interesting price move. Boy, XOP, yeah, you know me, down 1.2% today. Flagging. It's just a flag pattern. That's bullish to head higher. The equities are bullish, which makes me bullish. Crude oil. Because how could you have the markets all positioning in the equities and have a negative bearish outlook on oil on the longer term? OIH down slightly. And again, there's not much selling pressure here, guys. So we worked our way on up with higher lows all coming on up. There's not much selling pressure here. Yeah, it's a consolidation, whatever. A little bit of choppiness, but yeah, it still looks good to me to work its way on up, and maybe we create some pattern like this. We've got Newcastle coal futures. That's up at resistance. We were down 1.13. We'll punch through. If natural gas continues to move higher, I don't see any reason that this won't move on up with natural gas. And same with TTF gas. I think TTF gas will work its way on up, but a lot of this is highly dependent on weather. So, but we're up against resistance. The Sprott Physical Uranium Trust getting some buying pressure up 3.23. We're at that support region. Lots of chop in this section there. We've got uranium futures pricing up a little bit. That's also chopping sideways. URA, the equities are up today. We are breaking out of this falling wedge, perhaps, that I drew a while back. That looks good. Maybe we could see some momentum built here to the upside. We've got URNM also doing that, breaking a little bit higher, and URNJ also doing something very similar today. We'll see if we can get some momentum going. Flush out some of the weak hands. Nickel is up 0.75, and that's still chopping in the choppity fest. Dead period here. Everybody gets bored to death, and then all of a sudden it breaks out and runs. Copper's up 1%. This still looks good. We are in this resistance support box. We're in this resistance support box for a lot of stuff. But this looks good. Why does it look good? Big buying pressure, small selling pressure, big buying pressure, bullish engulfing. That's all bullish, guys. That's bullish to head higher. We've got COPX already trying to work its way on up, doing the full retest, and we'll see if this thing launches. We're right at resistance here, and let's break out to freedom here soon. This is just a flag pattern. You can draw it whichever way. It doesn't really matter how you draw this. It's all flagging. A flag pattern. Lithium is up 1% today. Looking good. Working its way on higher. I think there's problems in lithium, guys. It's not lithium itself. I'm just saying energy is going to get so constrained out in the future that we're going to just run at lithium, and we don't have the capacity to grow it as fast as we're going to want to. We've got REMX up 2.8%. That did have a consolidation, but that's broken higher. There's the nice little line there, and we should be riding it. It's in an uptrend. Ride it and do nothing. Looks fantastic. This could be a big, big breakout too, guys. So this year, I don't know if this is another company I think I have, um, which is kind of like a, think of it this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a rip. And this is a very similar setup in here. Very, very similar. We're missing like this lead in here. So this might be the lead in here, and then we go 1, 2, all through that, and then this guy could really move. You can see the volume kicking up. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This was a lead in from somewhere else. I can't remember where I got it. Iron ore up 0.2%. That's moving on up. We hit some support down here. I think this is called off because we have this big candlestick coming up, and now we're flagging. So that looks good to go higher. We've got aluminum up 1%. A little bit of selling pressure before that. We got lots of support underneath us. Still looks bullish long term. Baltic Dry Index breaking higher, about 3%. Look at that thing break. Looks good. We'll see if we can get a little run here going. Maybe we can come all the way up here. That'd be really nice. Make a lot of money in dry bulk, which we have exposure to. Emerging markets down 0.35. Andy, is this going to roll on over? How come it's not going up? Rat resistance, patience. Patience, patience, patience. Moo down 0.9%, putting in the right hand shoulder. There's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And we just got to wait for it to play on out. Today we were down a little bit. It looks like it's a bottom. You can see the wick at the bottom there. We're right on support. So usually you get this like double bottom. Good time to actually accumulate shares on whatever you're looking at. KRE's up 1%. This still looks pretty weak, guys. So what I see are these big selling pressure candlesticks, the upward move with small greens, and then follow through to the downside, and then small greens. This could roll over. This could roll over. We've got XHB also getting some selling pressure right up against resistance support. We'll see if it punches through. If there's follow through, it's bearish for sure. For sure. And then what this would turn out to be is kind of like a Batman. Maybe we could head a little bit lower here. What then that would turn into could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we get all the way down. If we get all the way down here, like we do get a recession or something occurs, what a buying opportunity. I would buy the living crap out of it. Russell's down a little bit. That's getting some downside momentum here. It's in a downtrend. We've broken through some of this support there. We've got SPX up a little bit today, but we'll see if it holds. If we start breaking through some of this area here, it could get a little ugly depending on how we sell off. If we get big selling pressure candlestick, yeah, it's getting ugly. NASDAQ is up today, and again, it's kind of this area that we're at. If we get a big selling pressure candlestick, it could get ugly. Dow Jones down a little bit, but it's within support. The negative thing here is that when you take a big picture view, that this area could be this area over here, and that we could see maybe some selling pressure. We've got XLI up 0.33%, but still in this channel of resistance and support. We've got SMCI bugging out. That looks disgustingly bad to go lower. Good to go lower, bad to go up. We've got NVIDIA up 2.85. Plunge protection team's got to pump this thing because that's basically the market now. Bitcoin looks ugly, down 2.4%. That's been selling off. We've got Ethereum down 4.76%. When we back out and we do log, that's what it looks like on logarithmic. We're squeezing on up. Now, there is a possibility that this does break higher. Maybe they print a bunch of money. Maybe they do QE. I'm not exactly sure. Bitcoin looks a little bit uglier. I mean, that thing, you've broken the upward trend line. It's heading lower. So Ethereum generally goes where Bitcoin goes. There is a possibility that this does a retest where it breaks out like we've gotten, comes on up, and then rolls over again. That is a possibility. And if it does that, and you're in Bitcoin, that would be a good time to maybe lighten the load if it does. MicroStrategy down 10%. Michael Saylor's looking a little bit worried. We do have support that we're going to get into here. And I've got that. It's going to be somewhere in here. I can just leave that like that. And then we'll probably pause. And then after that, I'm not sure what happens. We'll see. The VIX is down 4%. Plunge protection team getting on it, holding it down at the moment. We'll see if if they can continue to do that, if they are doing that. Can move that line out of there. So there's that support resistance area. But that's all I've got for today, guys. So give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. We've got that special coupon code that's active. We have a Saturday Q&A session coming up at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. If you can't make it, it's recorded. It's uploaded to the website. You can see all the previous stuff. If you want to look at my midweek updates, you can see my midweek updates. You can see my purchases. You can go back and validate if I'm making good purchases. It's all out there. I'm exposed. So you can see if I'm good at timing stocks. You can see the portfolio that I created that I'm sharing with everybody, the Roth 401k, and you can see it all. That Roth 401k, it's been open for about a year. I originally opened it in August of last year, but the bulk of the money went in later than August. So it was mainly like October, November, December. So it's been about a year. That account originally went down quite a bit. So I was buying stuff. It dropped minus probably 15, 20% for the whole thing. And then I'm up within that year time frame. I'm up about 40-ish%. I did add in 2025. That was 2024 when I opened it. I added it in 2025. Money in the beginning when things were down. And I think that's probably contributed to the plus 40-ish% that it's up. I didn't check today, but it's up around that area. As this bull market progresses, you'll see me continue to add into that account. You'll see how I add into it. That's the value. The value is to see how I'm doing it. I'm not perfectly buying absolute bottoms. I try my best, but I try to give everyone in the community a chance to get the same purchasing pricing that I get. So I usually tell everyone, maybe even before I buy it, about me buying certain companies and why I'm buying it. And when things get down here, this is what I'm looking at before it may occur. So everybody has the same equal footing, equal positions and stuff that I did. A lot of people at bottoms, they do get a little bit afraid, a little bit scared. I'm kind of just used to it because that's what I do. And I'm patient enough to wait for things to play out. And if you look backwards at picks and maybe watch earlier, like a year ago picks, like how I was going through it, what I was looking at, there's a lot of things that you can learn to become a lot better investor. I'm not saying that I'm the best ever. I make mistakes just like everyone else, and but you can learn things even if I'm not perfect. You can see why was he looking at this? Why did he purchase it here? And what was the outcome? If you look backwards, because I was doing those all real time. And then if you come to the Q&A sessions that we have, you can ask me, hey, why did you do this? How did you get this successful outcome? Or what was the outcome of this negative outcome? And then you can ask whatever question. So anyway, that's just me rambling on a little bit. But that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time, guys. See ya.